Last week, I talked about which plants you could put outside. This week, I want to share with you my personal experience of putting plants outside. I've been doing it since the very beginning of my plant hobby, and I can tell you that it has not been good. And I think most of the problem comes from the fact that I have a west-facing window with west-facing balcony, so the light is very intense. If you didn't get a chance to watch the first two videos of this series, please take a moment to do that. You'll learn a lot, hopefully, about light exposure and how to safely acclimate your plants outside. Personally speaking, even though I know that it is still very challenging because it's sunlight and I'm not bringing my plants in and out of the balcony constantly, so you kind of leave it there at least for a couple hours and you come back, and within those couple of hours things can change. Clouds can come, clouds can leave. So what happens is I end up burning my plants because I have a west-facing balcony. If you have east-facing or north-facing, like I said previously, I think you would be a lot better off. I've burned a lot of plants. Some plants died because of it, and not only because of the sunlight, so it's really harsh out there. So that's why I emphasize very highly that you should do it very slowly, but also how dry it is out there. I water my plants typically once a week, but when it is full blast sun for a week straight, your plants are getting really thirsty, especially if they are tropical plants and not like succulent plants that hold their own water. So therefore, you have to also pay attention to how you're caring for them. With that said, I'm not saying that it's not good for your plants to get the additional sunlight. They do grow a lot more because you put them outside, but I just think that, is it worth the trouble? Is it worth burning your plants? Is it worth bringing them back in and out? You know, I would do it if, you have a shaded area where it's kind of covered and it's getting bright and direct light all day long. I think that's great. Just somehow to protect them, whether it's a shade cloth. I unfortunately cannot put up anything on my balcony to shade it. I've tried before with like miniature umbrellas. It just isn't good enough. Bottom line is, I don't think I'm gonna be as experimenting as I used to in the past. I'm kind of just gonna leave them and let them be happy growing inside. Like I said, I have a west-facing window, so that means I get a lot of natural light, and I have grow lights to kind of keep the light consistent. And also, just to mention about the window and the light situation, first of all, there's this myth that gets circulated around every now and then about how glass magnifies the sunlight, so you have to watch out for that. That's actually totally not true. It actually filters out some of the light, and if you want to know that for yourself, just get a light meter and test the light on two sides of the window and you'll figure it out. And as we're going into spring and summer and the light is getting stronger, the sunlight can still burn your plant's leaves. It actually happened with the Monstera. It got like super sunny the past few days and it did get burned. So watch out for that, even if you're not moving your plants outside. My main takeaway is I don't think it's worth it. Okay, I only think it's worth it if you have a way to protect your plants from the direct sunlight. If you're like me, you're stuck and you only have west or south facing, it's not worth the trouble of putting it outside. Just put it at the window and be happy with it being inside. Because plants do like consistency. So when we're like, moving it in and out and changing the climate and the weather and also the moisture level, it has to readjust again. Like I said in my previous video and now, is that the Monstera did amazing outside, even though it got like whipped around by the wind like crazy. That's the other thing, right? All the elements that you have to think about. It gets bird poop on on there. The wind is like whipping the leaves around. If you have large foliage plants, I had my bird of paradise out there one year. It was just going crazy. It's not super windy here, but obviously once in a while it happens. So you have to be prepared for that. And plants do end up getting knocked over. Like one year, the succulent ball came flying down. Oh, and birds, squirrels. So things that you have to consider. If you're super curious, I would try it and see how it goes for you. But go slow, acclimate, water your plants, don't forget about it, because that's definitely happened as well. In the beginning of the season, during the spring, I will forget that I put this plant outside, and then I forget to water it, and it doesn't look so happy. So I wish you the best of luck. I will see you guys next week, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments below.